My name is Suzette Samuels, bar number P51796. I am a lawyer and assistant prosecuting attorney for the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office in Detroit, Michigan, County of Wayne, State of Michigan. I prosecuted Mr. Derrick Lee Cardello-Smith in the criminal case of People of the State of Michigan versus Derrick Lee Cardello-Smith, case number 2008008639. 01 FC during the criminal proceedings of January 1st, 2008 through October 1st, 2008. I work directly for the immediate persons of Kim L. Worthy, Wayne County prosecutors, and for Sean Combs, a.k.a. PDiddy, a.k.a. Puff Daddy, and Brother Love, owner and founder of Bad Boy Records. The Office of the Wayne County Prosecutor has framed Mr. Derrick Lee Cardello-Smith for the crimes of criminal sexual conduct beginning in 1997, in 2008, and again in 2019, while he was incarcerated. The person who directed these prosecutions were, and still are, Mr. Sean John Combs, musician, music mogul, artist, owner, and founder of Bad Boy Records, and Kim L. Worthy, current Wayne County Prosecutor. Mr. Sean Combs and Kim L. Worthy ordered the Detroit Police Department's 9th Precinct Northeastern District to arrest and frame Derrick Lee Cardello-Smith for multiple R-words that he did not commit. Mr. Sean John Combs and Kim L. Worthy directed me to use my powers and office as the Assistant Wayne County Prosecutor to falsely charge and convict Mr. Derrick Lee Cardello-Smith with 6 counts of criminal sexual conduct and 2 counts of kidnapping, which I did out of fear of my life, and which I did because I was paid to do so. In this and many other cases, totaling 128 black male citizens of Detroit, Saginaw, Flint, and other counties of Michigan that were investors in Bad Boy Records prior to 1997. Mr. Combs ordered Kim L. Worthy to prosecute Cardello-Smith for the crimes and to keep him in prison for these crimes after Mr. Combs had taken a $150,000 investment from Cardello-Smith in early January 1997, and Mr. Cardello-Smith demanded a notarized receipt with Mr. Marcus Ashford overseeing the notary service. Mr. Combs and my boss, Kim Worthy, have framed Cardello-Smith to cover up the R-word of Cardello-Smith by Mr. Combs in 1997, and while Cardello-Smith was serving as Mr. Combs' bartender throughout 1996 and 1997. Mr. Combs sent 3 men to kill Cardello-Smith in 1997. While he and a female companion were exiting a Detroit movie theater, Cardello-Smith was stabbed in his right arm while defending himself and killed the knife-wielding assailant. Mr. Cardello-Smith was placed under arrest for second-degree murder. This murder was then hidden, and it led to Cardello-Smith being sent to prison for multiple counts of criminal sexual conduct, crimes of which he is innocent of. I work with the 1997 Assistant Prosecutor under Michael Dugan and the Judge Kim L. Worthy, Mr. Michael Dugan, current Detroit mayor, and other officials to cover up the crime, and I played a key role with Detroit police officers Mr. John Combs, Diddy, who was personally involved, and other members of Wayne County and current high-ranking Wayne County government officials to hide the homicide and to unlawfully place Cardello-Smith in the custody of the Michigan Department of Corrections for crimes of sexual misconduct, rape, and kidnapping, all of which he is innocent of. Mr. Sean Combs was always personally involved and directed these meetings in order to cover up the rape he committed upon Cardello-Smith and to ensure that Cardello-Smith never collected on his rightful claim to 49% of Bad Boy Records and holdings, based upon his lead role in the investment of money into Bad Boy Records in 1997. Mr. Sean Combs and Kim L. Worthy both paid cash directly to Mr. Vincent Smother, a contract killer, Patricia Penman, detective in Detroit and Dearborn, Michigan, David Cobb, Detroit Police Department Sergeant, who's deceased, Carly Carpenter, Tina Bommarito, Andrea Bommarito, and others to kidnap and attempt to kill Mr. Derrick Lee Cardello-Smith in 2008, only to fail. and then decided to use the same people to frame Cardello-Smith for our word that he did not do, for rape that he did not do. Carly Carpenter, sisters Tina and Andrea Bommarito are sexual assault and sexual slavery victims of Mr. Sean Combs. Wayne County officials, Kim L. Worthy, and part of a crime ring and criminal enterprise throughout the state of Michigan. I paid $5,000 to a 36th District Court judge to secure an arrest warrant for Cardello-Smith in January 2008. I paid $5,000 to Judge Willis Lipcomb, 36th District Court Detroit judge, to falsely determine that there was enough evidence to make Cardello-Smith stand trial in the Wayne County Circuit Court at the probable cause conference hearing, and he was therefore bound over the trial. I paid $10,000 to Judge Daniel P. Ryan, 3rd Circuit Court Judge of Wayne County, to grant all of my motions in Circuit Court and secure a conviction of Cardello-Smith by way of denying every motion that Cardello-Smith was entitled to be given, resulting in his plea of no contest. I paid $4,300 to Judge Thomas Cameron of 3rd Circuit Court to deny Cardello-Smith's post-conviction motions, even though he was entitled to the relief he was entitled to, and they were denied. I paid Judge Bridget Mary Hathaway, 3rd Circuit Court Judge of Wayne County, $23,000 from January 2019 through February 1st, 2025 to deny all of Cardello-Smith's rightful motions that he was entitled to be granted. I performed the transaction of these monetary handovers on the orders of Kim L. Worthy and Sean John Combs, and I complied fully with these orders of the two persons named because they have their hands deep into the elected and appointed workers in the county of Wayne, city of Detroit, and other areas of Michigan. Mr. Cobb committed suicide in 2008 when Cardello-Smith was going to call him as a witness in his criminal case at trial, but it was not suicide. It was murder, ordered by Sean Combs and Kim L. Worthy. He passed 2 days before Cardello-Smith's trial was to begin, resulting in Cardello-Smith entering a no contest plea. Every document in the cases Cardello-Smith filed against Sean Combs is real, accurate, and true, as that I have the same copies of those documents, and I have had the documents for many years, and Kim Worthy has them too. Mr. Combs used Kim Worthy, who used Detroit police officer Patrick Jackman and another Detroit police officer to work with two Los Angeles police officers to execute Mr. TuPac Shakur and Mr. Marion Knight on direct orders of Mr. Sean Combs. This is all proven by documents contained in the case of Derrick Lee Cardello-Smith versus Sean Combs, case 24-12647, United States District Court, Eastern District of Michigan, and the companion case of Cardello-Smith versus Sean Combs, Kim L. Worthy et al., case number 24-12737, United States District Court, Eastern District of Michigan. I state that these documents are true and real and not forged, and Cardello-Smith stands by them, and so do I, because I have the exact same copies of those documents, and Kim Worthy does as well. The Office of the Wayne County Prosecutor has destroyed all homicide files beginning in 1995 through 2003, and this was done to hide the homicide Derrick Lee Cardello-Smith originally committed in self-defense, and to frame Cardello-Smith for said crimes he is in fact innocent of. I currently have video footage of Cardello-Smith defending himself in the parking lot in 1997. I have video of Cardello-Smith being framed for multiple rapes at the direction of Mr. Sean Combs and Miss Kim L. Worthy. I have video of Mr. Sean Combs' rape victims being coerced and forced to testify falsely that Cardello-Smith committed horrific acts of rape against them, when it was actually Sean Combs raping them and beating them and forcing them to do it, along with other Wayne County officials and members of law enforcement. I have documents that support all of Mr. Cardello-Smith's claims that he was threatened by Sean Combs, that if he went through with the sexual assault charges of on Combs, that Cardello-Smith's family and friends lives would be threatened. Mr. Cardello-Smith submitted a report from William Proctor in 2024 that, can't read that word, that something the hitman Vincent Smothers had killed many people, and Kim Worthy provide Mr. Smothers with a sweetheart of a deal. And in exchange for his assistance with murders on Sean Combs' orders, our office honored that deal. Mr. Cardello-Smith did not commit any rapes, and all the evidence that was to be presented at trial was in fact manufactured, falsely, and simply did not exist. And it was all done at the orders of Kim L. Worthy and Sean Combs to get revenge upon a former Bad Boy member, Derrick Lee Cardello-Smith. I acted contrary to laws and every ethical rule, and I violated Mr. Cardello-Smith's due process rights every step of the way. I paid Bridget Mary Hathaway a total of $10,000 in March 2024 to deny any of Cardello-Smith's motions or successive motions for relief from judgment of sentence. I told her that Kim L. Worthy had said that Cardello-Smith had an affidavit from Tina Bommarito that he is using to get the factual basis of his plea withdrawn, and I asked her to ignore this evidence in the denial, and she did. And it was done because Sean Combs ordered it to be done, and Kim Worthy ordered it to be done. On January 29th, 2025, Judge Bridget Hathaway issued an order denying Mr. Cardello-Smith's successive motion for relief from judgment and did not address the recantation of Tina Bommarito, as she was paid to not address. Judge Bridget M. Hathaway is also overseeing the case of Carly Carpenter and People of the State of Michigan versus Derrick Lee Cardello-Smith, 2019 00075601FC. And she has been paid to issue another decision on that case that will completely avoid any of the recantations of Carly Carpenter, who lied and was paid to lie by Patricia Penman and I, that Cardello-Smith raped her. Judge Bridget M. Hathaway has completely earned her money by entering decisions against Cardello-Smith that shows that she will not allow the recantation affidavits to be placed on the court record, because to do so would mean that she has accepted bribes to deny relief to an innocent man. The Office of the Wayne County Prosecutor under Kim L. Worthy and the Office of the Wayne County Circuit Court under Judges Daniel Ryan, Thomas Cameron, and Bridget M. Hathaway are directly working for Sean John Combs, aka PDiddy, and I am a direct employee of Sean Diddy Combs. And I framed Cardello-Smith for rapes he did not do by using victims of Sean Combs to frame Cardello-Smith, and it was all done for the sole purpose of keeping Cardello-Smith in prison and not allowing him to be able to get hold of his money that he is entitled to. Mr. Sean Combs and Kim L. Worthy reach extends to other law offices, lawyers, prosecutors, law enforcement, state judges, state appeals judges, federal judges at the trial and appellate level, and it is a reach that I am now sick and tired of having, leading me, which has led me to this release of the truth. I work directly for Sean Combs and Kim Worthy, and Kim Worthy does too. And I framed Cardello-Smith, number 267009, and Kim Worthy framed Cardello-Smith. Numerous Michigan judges in every level of court has been paid in some way or another to deny Cardello-Smith his release from custody because we wanted Cardello-Smith to look like a serial sexual offender. And he is not. But we succeeded in it, and it was wrong. The man is innocent, and I am guilty of framing him, and so are my bosses, Kim Worthy and Sean Combs. Any person who says that this is false or that this is not a legally binding statement is lying themselves. It is made in my official capacity while I am still an employee of the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office and as a citizen in my individual capacity that was bribed and did bribe to frame an innocent man, Cardello-Smith, on orders of Kim L. Worthy and Sean Combs. I will attest to these facts because they are true and real. And what has happened to Cardello-Smith is a tragedy and a miscarriage of justice. And His no contest plea should be withdrawn and this matter allowed to go to jury trial or the charges against him dismissed in their entirety. I framed Cardello-Smith for the worst crimes imaginable, and he is innocent, and I acted on orders of Sean Combs to do this because of Cardello-Smith's inside knowledge as to how Bad Boy Records was built, how Sean Combs operates, and who he is, man, and I guess what type of man he is. Cardello-Smith is a good man, and Sean Combs is a bad boy. I acted against the law and hid behind my immunity and protections offered me by Kim Worthy. This is wrong, and it must be corrected. The office of the Wayne County Prosecutor will deny this, but I will not deny it. I am guilty. Sean Combs is guilty. Kim Worthy is guilty. The Detroit Police Department is guilty. Officer David Cobb is guilty. Tina Bommarito is guilty. Carly Carpenter is guilty. Andrea Bommarito is guilty. And the only person who is innocent of anything criminal is Cardello-Smith, MD OC 2670009. I state that I am a direct employee of Sean Combs, and while I am in my office, I framed Derrick Lee Cardello-Smith and other men who I prosecuted, and I did so on the orders of Sean Combs, and it was to hide two things. One, Sean Combs' sexual assault of Derrick Lee Cardello-Smith, and number two, to stop Cardello-Smith from collecting on his rightful entitlement to the contractual agreement reached between himself and Sean Combs for $150,000 in exchange for 49% of all of the holdings of Sean Combs. And it was also to hide and cover up the facts that TuPac Shakur was murdered on orders of Sean Combs, and Kim L. Worthy helped to effect said murders. And also the attempted murder on Suge Knight in 1996, and to cover up multiple crimes that our office and Sean Combs is a part of, and all to keep Cardello-Smith, number 2670009, silent as an original member and investor of Bad Boy Records, and Cardello-Smith's personal insight into Sean Combs and his empire. And that is it. This affidavit was written on February 10th, 2025, and this is from Suzette Samuels, Assistant Wayne County Prosecutor, Wayne County Prosecutor's Office, Detroit Justice Center, Detroit, Michigan.